Today I'm bringing you another Gone Too Soon series. As you can tell, today we are covering Heath Ledger, who's probably a lot more famous for his portrayal of the Joker in the Batman Dark Knight and in his portrayal in Brokeback Mountain. He's an extremely famous actor, and I like him for all of his work more so than just his famous stuff. Honestly, I think Knight's Tale is probably one of the greatest movies ever made. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Heath Ledger was born in Perth, Western Australia, the son of Sally Ramshaw, a French teacher, and Kim Ledger, a race car driver and mining engineer, whose family owned and operated the Ledger Engineering Foundry. He had English, Irish, and Scottish ancestry. Ledger attended Marymount's primary school in Gooseberry Hill, and later Guildford Grammar School, where he had his first acting experiences, starring in a school production as Peter Pan at the age of 10. His parents separated around the age of 11 and divorced when he was 12. Ledger's older sister, Kate, an actress and later a publicist to whom he was very, very close, inspired him to continue his acting on stage, and his love of Gene Kelly inspired his successful choreography, leading to Guildford Grammar's 60 members team's first all-boy victory at the Oracasted Challenge. Heath's two half-sisters, Ashley and Belle, his mother's daughter with their second husband, and his stepfather Roger Bell and Olivia Ledger, his father's daughter with his second wife Emma Brown. Moving into his career, in the 1990s, after studying for early graduation exams at the age of just 16, he completed his high school diploma. Heath left school to pursue an acting career. With Trevor DiCarlo, his best friend since the age of 3, Heath drove across Australia from Perth to Sydney, returning to Perth to take a small role in the 1992 movie Clowning Around. The first part. Returning to Perth to take a small role in Clowning Around, the first of a 2-part television series, and to work on the TV series Sweat in 1996, in which he plays a cyclist. From 1993 to 1997, Heath also had parts in the Perth television series Ship to Shore. Heath also had parts in a short-lived Fox FBC fantasy drama Roar in 1997, in Home and Away also in 1997, which ended up being one of Australia's most successful television shows to date, and in the Australian film Black Rock, his feature film debut. In 1999, he starred in the teen comedy 10 Things I Hate About You, and in the acclaimed Australian crime film Two Hands. In the early 2000s, he starred in supporting roles as Gabriel Martin, the eldest son of Benjamin Martin in The Patriot, and as Sonny Grodowitzky, the son of Hank Grodowitzky in Monsters Ball, as well as leading or title roles in A Knight's Tale, The Four Feathers, The Order, Ned Kelly, Casanova, The Brothers Grimm, love that movie, and The Lord 2001, he won a Showist Award for the top male star of Tomorrow. Heath received Best Actor of 2005 awards from both the New York Film Critics Circle and the San Francisco Film Critics Circle for his performance in Brokeback Mountain, in which he plays a Wyoming ranch hand, Enos Del Mar, who has a love affair with an aspiring rodeo rider, Jack Twist, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. He also received the nominations for a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama, and a Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Lead Role. In the New York Times review of the film, critic Stephen Holden writes, both Mr. Ledger and Mr. Gyllenhaal, I think it's actually Gyllenhaal, make this distinguished love story physically palpable. Mr. Ledger magically and mysteriously disappears beneath the skin of his lean, sinewy character. It is a great screen performance, as good as the best of Marlon Brando in Sean Penn. In a review in the Rolling Stones, Peter Travers states, Ledger's magnificent performance is an acting miracle. He seems to tear it from his insides. Ledger just doesn't know how. Enos moves, speaks, and listens. He knows how he breathes. To see him inhale the scent of a shirt hanging in Jack's closet is to take measure of the pain of the love lost. Spoiler alert. Jack dies. After Brokeback Mountain, Ledger co-starred with fellow Australian Abbie Cornish in a 2006 Australian film Candy, an adaptation of the 1998 novel of the same name. As young heroin addicts in love, attempting to break free of their addiction, whose mentor is played by Geoffrey Rush. For his performance as sometime poet Dan, Heath was nominated 3 Best Actor awards, including one of the film's Critics Circles of Australia awards, both of which Cornish and Rush won in their respective categories. Shortly after the release of Candy, Heath was invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences as one of the 6 actors embodying different aspects of the life of Bob Dylan in the 2000 film I'm Not There. Heath won praise for his portrayal of Bobby Clark, a moody counterculture actor who represents the romanticist side of Dylan, but says accolades were never his motivation. Posthumously, on the 23rd of February 2008, he shared the 2007 Independent Spirit Robert Altman Award with the rest of the film's ensemble cast, its director, and its casting director. Now, in his absolute peak, and more than likely most famous role that has inspired millions to cosplay and has set an example for how one of the biggest supervillains in comic book history will be judged moving forward. Heath played the Joker in Christopher Nolan's 2008 film The Dark Knight, which was released 6 months after his death. While working on the film in London, Heath told Sarah Lyle in the New York Times interview that he viewed The Dark Knight's Joker as a psychopathic, mass-murdering, schizophrenic clown with zero empathy. For his work on The Dark Knight, Heath posthumously won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, becoming the fourth youngest winner of the award in history, which his family accepted on his behalf, as well as numerous other posthumous awards, including the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor, which director Christopher Nolan accepted for him. At the time of his death, on January 22nd, 2008, Heath had completed about half of the work for his final film performance as Tony in Terry Gilliam's The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Gilliam chose to adapt the film after his death by having fellow actors and friends of Ledger, Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell play fantasy transformations of his character so that Heath's final performance could still be seen in theaters. Moving a bit into his personal life, Heath was an avid chess player. This is not much on his personal life. Heath was an avid chess player, playing some tournaments when he was young. As an adult, he often played with other chess enthusiasts at Washington Square Park. That was a level. As an adult, he often played with other chess enthusiasts at Washington Square Park, though the level of his play has sometimes been exaggerated. Heath also kept a keen interest in the West Coast Eagles, a professional Australian rules football team that competes in the Australian Football League and is based in his hometown of Perth. Also, in addition to being a chess player, Heath was also a very avid photographer. In an interview with New York Times published on the 4th of November 2007, Heath told Sarah Lyle that he often could not sleep when taking on roles, and that the role of the Joker in The Dark Knight was causing his unusual insomnia. Last week, I probably slept about an hour, average of 2 hours a night. I couldn't stop thinking. My body was exhausted, my mind was still going. At the time, he told Lyle that he had taken 2 Ambien pills. After taking just one had not sufficed to allow him to sleep, and those left him in a stupor, only to wake up about an hour later, his mind still racing. Prior to his return to New York from his last film assignment in London in January 2008, while he was apparently suffering from some kind of respiratory illness, he reportedly complained to his co-star from The Imaginarium, Dr. Parnassus, Chris Plummer, that he was continuing to have difficulty sleeping and taking pills to help with that problem, confirming earlier reports that Heath hadn't been feeling well on set. Plummer says, "We all caught colds because we were shooting outside on horrible damp nights, but Heath's health just went on, and I don't think he dealt with it immediately with the antibiotics. I think what he did was have the mocking pneumonia. On top of that, he kept saying all the time, 'Damn it, I just can't sleep.' And he was taking all these pills to help him." In talking with Interview magazine after Ledger's death, Michelle Williams confirmed reports that the actor had experienced trouble sleeping. For as long as I'd known him, he had bouts with insomnia. He just had too much energy. His mind was always turning and turning and always turning. Heath was widely reported to have struggled with substance abuse. Following Heath's death, Entertainment Tonight aired video footage from 2006 stated that he used to smoke 5 joints a day for 20 years, with the news outlets reported that his drug abuse had prompted Williams to request that he move out of their apartment in Brooklyn. Heath's publicist asserted that some of the reportage regarding Heath and his drug use had been wildly inaccurate. At about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 22nd of January 2008, Heath was found unconscious in his bed by his housekeeper, Teresa Solomon, and his masseuse, Diana Wallison, in his loft at 421 Brom Street in the Soho neighborhood of Manhattan. According to the police, Wallison had arrived early for the 3 p.m. appointment with Heath, called Heath's friend, Mary Kate Olsen, for help. Olsen, who was in California, directed a New York City private security guard to go to the scene. At 3:26, less than 15 minutes after she first saw him in bed, and only a few moments after the first call to Mr. Olsen, or Ms. Olsen, Wallison telephoned 911 to say that Mr. Ledger was not breathing. At the urging of the 911 operator, Wallison administered CPR, which was unsuccessful in reviving him. Paramedics and emergency medical technicians, or fancy way of saying EMTs, arrived 7 minutes later at 3:33 at almost exactly the same moment as the private security guard summoned by Miss Olsen, but were also unable to revive him. At 3:36, Heath was pronounced dead, and his body was removed from the apartment at just 28 years old. In the autopsy and toxicology report performed or released on the 6th of February, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner of New York released its conclusions. Those conclusions were based on an initial autopsy that occurred on the 23rd of January and a subsequent complete toxicological analysis. The report concluded that Heath died as a result of acute intoxication by the combined effects of oxycodone, hydrocodone, diazepam, temazepam, alprazolam, and doxylamine. It added that we have concluded that the manner of death is accident, resulting from the abuse of prescribed medications. While the medications found in the toxicological report may be prescribed in the United States for insomnia, anxiety, pain, or common cold symptoms in doxylamine, the one I can't pronounce to save my life, the vast majority of physicians in the U.S. are extremely reluctant to prescribe multiple benzodiazepines, which would be the diazepam, alprazolam, and temazepam, to a single patient, let alone to prescribe such medications to a patient already taking a mix of oxycodone and hydrocodone. Although the Associated Press and other media reported that police estimated Ledger's death occurred between 1 p.m. and 2:45 p.m. on the 22nd of January, the medical examiner's office announced that it would not publicly disclose the official estimated time of death. The official announcement for the cause and manner of Heath's death heightened concern about the growing problems of prescription drug use, misuse, and combined drug intoxication. 2017, Jason Payne James, a forensic pathologist, asserted that Heath might have survived if hydrocodone and oxycodone had been left out of the combination of drugs that the actor took prior to his death. He furthermore stated that the mixture of drugs, combined with a possible chest infection, caused Ledger to stop breathing. Heath's death affected the marketing campaign for Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight, and also both the production and marketing of the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, with both directors intending to celebrate and pay tribute to his work in these films. Although the Imaginarium temporarily suspended production on the latter film, he expressed determination to salvage it, with only half of Heath's parts being actually filmed, perhaps using computer-generated imagery and dedicating it to Heath. In February 2008, as a memorial tribute to the man many have called one of the best actors of his generation, Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell signed on to take over Heath's role, becoming multiple incarnations of his character, Tony, transformed into this magical retelling of the Faust story. The three actors donated their fees for the film to Heath and Williams' daughter. While editing The Dark Knight, on which Heath had completed all of his work in October 2007, Nolan recalled, "It was tremendously emotional right when he passed, having to go back in and look at him every single day. But the truth is, I felt lucky and do feel very lucky to have something productive to do, to have a performance that he was very, very proud of, and that he had entrusted into me to finish." All of Heath's scenes appear as he completed them in filming and editing the film. Nolan added no digital effects at all to alter Ledger's actual performance posthumously. Christopher dedicated the film in part to Heath's memory, as well as the memory of technician Conway Wycliffe, who was killed during a car accident while performing one of the film's stunts. Released in July 2008, The Dark Knight shattered box office records and received both popular and critical accolades, especially in regard to Heath's performance as the Joker. Even film critic David Denby, who does not praise the film overall in his pre-release review in The New Yorker, evaluates Heath's work highly, describing his performance as both sinister and frightening, and continuing to describe him as mesmerizing in every scene, concluding that his performance is as heroic, unsettling as unsettling final act. This young actor looked into the abyss, and it looked back, attempting to dispel widespread speculation that Heath's performance as the Joker had in any way led to his death. Ledger's co-star and friend Christian Bale, who played the opposite him as Batman in the film, stressed over and over that, as an actor, Heath greatly enjoyed meeting the challenges of creating the role of the Joker, and especially in playing enjoyed meeting the challenges of creating that role, an experience that Heath himself described as the most fun I've ever had and probably will ever have playing a character. Terry Gilliam also refuted the claims that playing the Joker made him crazy, calling it absolute nonsense, and going on to say Heath was so solid, his feet were on the ground, and he was the least neurotic person I've ever met. On December 2008, it was announced that Heath had been nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor Motion Picture for his performance as the Joker in The Dark Knight. He subsequently won the award at the 66th Golden Globe Awards ceremony telecast on NBC on the 11th of January 2009, with Dark Knight director Christopher Nolan accepting it on his behalf. Film critics, co-stars Maggie Gyllenhaal and Michael Crane, and many of the Heath's colleagues in the film community joined Christian in calling for and predicting a nomination for the 2008 Academy Award for the Best Supporting Actor in recognition of Heath's achievement in The Dark Knight. Heath's subsequent nomination was announced on the 22nd of January, the anniversary of his death. Heath went on to win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, becoming the second person to win a posthumous Academy Award for acting after fellow Australian actor Peter Finch, who won for 1976's Network, as well as the first comic book movie actor to win an Oscar. Heath's family attended the ceremony on the 22nd of February, with his parents and his sister accepting the award on stage on his behalf. Following talks with the Ledger family in Australia, the Academy determined that Heath's daughter, Matilda, would own the award. However, due to Matilda's age, she would not gain full ownership of the statuette until her 18th birthday in 2023. Her mother, Michelle Williams, will hold the statuette in trust for Matilda until that time. Heath's death, I was young when it happened. I wasn't crazy young, but I was much younger than I am now. And it's hard because it feels like with Brokeback Mountain and A Knight's Tale and The Brothers Grimm and of course The Dark Knight, Heath was just really starting to hit his stride, hit his prime as an actor in some of the biggest movies ever made. I mean, The Dark Knight is just, it's one of the most successful comic book movies ever made, and his portrayal as the Joker is a large testament to why that movie is where it's at. And it's unfortunate that he was lost to us at such an early stage in his career and at such a young life, or at such a young age of just 28. That's 1 year younger than me, and it brings to light a lot of the prescription abuse problems that we have in America. But that being said, hope you enjoyed the video, and please go watch some of Heath's work because it's some of the best acting you'll ever see. So, for now, that is all I have for you guys. So, I think we'll just go ahead and end it there. So, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below. Bye, guys.